How did Capcom's two major zombie games, Dead Rising and Resident Evil 7, come to be made in the first place? We interviewed the directors of both titles to learn more about the games. First, we have Koshi Nakanishi, the distinguished director of Resident Evil 7. Follow along as he shares previously undisclosed information about the game's origin. When we first started development, Resident Evil was... well, if I'm being honest, as a brand, we were off track. The action element had been expanded, and fans reacted much more negatively than expected. In the end, an RE game has to be scary. So we took another look at it. And the general consensus from fans of the series was that a Resident Evil game is one that should scare the hell out of you. That was the starting point for Resident Evil 7. I played Resident Evil from the beginning, and those early games were terrifying. I was excited to try and make Resident Evil 7 into a game that would live up to the RE name. The fear-inducing Resident Evil that Nakanishi was after had a major impact upon its release. But the course that he chose was far from the path of least resistance. In order to make a fear-focused Resident Evil, many elements of the game had to be re-evaluated from scratch. Like the setting, characters, the game system. Anything that didn't induce fear had to change, and sometimes we threw the whole thing out. And in order to make it scarier, we decided to go with a first-person point of view. Up to that point, RE had been third-person perspective with the character on the screen. But when you're viewing the world from a safe distance behind a character, it's not as immersive and frightening. First person forces you to be up close and personal. And that's exactly what we were trying to accomplish. How did Kawano perceive the target audience for this game? We weren't sure whether to target a casual or core audience. However, we trusted management's concepts and made what we thought would be fun. Kawano had a range of experience directing Mega Man Legends and Breath of Fire, and he was confident in this new genre. We wanted to put the main character somewhere that was overrun with zombies. Most games might ordinarily make their main character a cop or a soldier. A badass, decked out in gear, ready for the situation. But we thought going in that direction would dilute the madness and unpredictability of the zombie outbreak. So, we made him a journalist. We focused the story on him being trapped in a place full of zombies, trying to escape, and rescuing survivors along the way, so that they can all make it out together. Kawano faced challenges during development. It's clear, though, that he still has the same passion for the game. In terms of the narrative, there's a zombie outbreak. We wanted the player to encounter people trying to escape and others who have become a bit unhinged, making them feel like they're trapped in the outbreak. On the development team, we all felt like it was a fun game, but others who saw the game were kind of taken aback. Some even asked whether it was okay to make a game that was so violent. For a second, we started to doubt ourselves. Such an innovative project was bound to grapple with internal friction. But Kawano had a trump card to play: fan expectations. We previewed it at a game show and got mobbed. Players loved that you could use a parasol to kill zombies or put buckets on their heads. That's when I knew we'd done it. I still can't say whether it was targeting core or casual players, but everyone loves zombies, and being able to mess around with them in so many ways. I thought people in Japan and abroad would all like the game. However, RE4, a game without zombies, was released the year before. Was Dead Rising trying to dethrone the RE franchise? I think that makes Dead Rising one of the classics. Also, I think anything with zombies needs a sense of humor. A zombie outbreak is a disaster, but I think you need to laugh too. If there are laughs, you can have some tears as well. Resident Evil, on the other hand, is cooler. The main characters are very cool. Kawano's continued passion for the game was evident from his intensity. Shinji Mikami made the Resident Evil games, so of course they have a sense of humor. Giant dolls appear and walk around. But I think we really filled Dead Rising with a ton of ridiculous stuff. If you're looking for a clear answer to that question, in the context of this program, I think it's fair to say that Dead Rising is the classic zombie game. A lot of people played the game when it first came out, but it wasn't the easiest to play. Now that it's been made a little more accessible, I'm excited for those who didn't play or couldn't finish to have another chance. Each of the directors had different experiences, but we'd like to salute both for their innovative contributions. And finally, we managed to draw out an intriguing bit of information from director Nakanishi. We'll let him have the final comment. We're making a new Resident Evil. It was really difficult to figure out what to do after 7. But I found it. And to be honest, it feels substantial. I can't share any details just yet, but I hope you're excited for the day I can.